Most people think that if you have more 3D printers, you can just have more output. But if you have multiple printers and you send the wrong print to the wrong machine, then you may not be operating a print farm. You may be playing some kind of waiting game. Because with different types of printers, running different types of materials and different types of prints, then it's no longer just a printing operation, it becomes a scheduling operation. So over the last couple weeks, I've talked about some of the new printers I've added to my operation here. And it's given me more capabilities. So whereas before I could just send a file to the printer and print, now I got to be thinking about, if I'm doing multiple prints, well, how do I set it up so I'm maximizing the capabilities of all the printers I have? So before we go into the discussion, I want to base it on what I'm looking at with my operations and the printers I have. And I think you could scale it to whatever your operation is. But looking at my operation, I have a couple of bed slingers. I have the Cobra X on top and the Bamboo A1 on the bottom. Behind me on my right is my two Bamboo P1Ss, the reliable workhorses of the operation. And then over here is the newest member, the Snapmaker U1. Let me explain my thinking of this problem. I mean, if you have just one printer, it's easy. You send the file to the printer. If you're printing with one type of material, again, not too tough a problem. Or if you're running a print farm with all printers that are all the same, again, there's not a lot of scheduling. You just find the open one and you send it to it. But when you have multiple printers with varying capabilities, now you start to have multiple correct answers to the problem of which machine I use. But this can lead you to start asking additional questions. I mean, do I use the fastest printer? Do I use the largest printer? The most reliable printer? And this could all lead to lots of choices you could have, and it could lead you to using the worst choice possible, which is whichever printer is free. So this has all led to me have this core shift in my thinking of scheduling, not just looking at which one is free, but which one is the best printer to use for the job I want to do. Because just if a printer is available doesn't mean it's the right printer for the job. So let me explain this in simpler terms. I mean, every print job has certain variables that comes with it, and once you break these down, it makes it easier to understand. The first one is the print type. Is it a single color, single material? Is it multiple colors? Is it more than 4 colors? Is it multiple materials? The second is the material type. Is it just a simple PLA or PETG, or are you talking about engineering quality type materials such as ASA or ABS? And the third is the size. Is it just a small piece or multiple little pieces, or is it a larger piece that requires just a larger printer to be able to do it? So the next thing I've done is kind of assigned roles to each of my printers, and then I can use that to help me in the scheduling process. For example, let me start with the P1Ss. Again, these are my workhorses. They're reliable, dependable, and they also have an enclosure which allows me to do more engineering type materials such as ASA and ABS. They each have an AMS with them, but I can tie those together, allowing me to do more than 4 colors with the printer. And I have my dryer right there, which usually is what I use to run my ASA ABS straight from the dryer, and I've also used that to run TPU. The second printer is the Bamboo A1. Again, another very dependable machine that I can use to do a lot of production. If I have a lot of simple PLA prints that I need to do, I can use the A1, get them out there, dependably. If they're one or two colors, they're easy to do. The next one is the Anycubic Cobra X. Again, bed slinger like the A1 can do the same things. You get a little less waste if you do multicolors. And it also, because the direct drive system allows you to do TPU, and you can do multi-material with it. And the last is the Snapmaker U1. This is the multiple tool head, which means it can handle the multiple color prints with a vast reduction in waste. So again, this is kind of leave this one to be used for those multicolor prints. If I have other printers available, I will leave that for this. Again, this can do up to 4 color prints. It can do multiple material like TPU and PETG. But if I need to do a print with more than 4 colors, then I go back to my P1Ss, set the 2 AMSs together to allow me to do more than 4 color prints. So that's kind of the roles I've set up for there. The biggest mistake is just sending a print to whichever printer is available. Should always be considering, what are the roles, which is the best way to be using the printers. So, some quick, real examples. If I have a bunch of, for example, I'm printing stuff for the craft shows. I have a bunch of simple little PLA toys to print. Again, the Bamboo A1 or the Anycubic Cobra X are the perfect choice for that. If I have the engineering prints, I have to go back to my Bamboos for that, my ASA and ABS. And if I have multicolor prints, that's when I turn to my Snapmaker U1. And the last is, if I'm looking for a very reliable print, if I've got something that I want to make sure I get right, that's where I leave that on my P1S, because I consider that the best for the quality machines that I have. All of them are very similar quality, but I think it's just a step above using the P1S. So here's the simple truth. The more variety in printers you add, the more powerful operations your shop becomes. But again, it becomes a little bit more difficult to manage. I mean, a single type printer print farm is easy to operate, but a multiple type printer print farm can be more efficient. So what you lack in capabilities, you may lose something to simplicity. Now again, this whole discussion has been based on the printers themselves. There's still a lot of other components that go into this efficiency. It's in the slicing of the files to increase the time. Can you do it, split up the prints and all that stuff? This is just looking at the machines themselves, so is what I'm talking about here. But at some point, as you go along, you have to stop thinking like a hobbyist and start realizing that you're operating a small mini factory. You have to start thinking about things of, where am I losing time? Where am I wasting material? And how can I reduce the friction my printers are causing me? Because scaling, as I said before, scaling isn't about adding more machines. It is about removing inefficiencies in your operation. So if you have 1 or 2 printers, don't overthink this. Just send the files to the printer and printer. But if you have 3, 4, 5 or more printers, then you're at the point where you have to start making decisions of what is the best way to operate my shop. So here's what I want you to do. If you're in the same situation that you have more than just a couple of printers, take a look at your last 10 prints that did you do them on the most advantageous printer that you could have, or did you just do it on the next printer that was available? Because again, optimizing your operations doesn't just mean adding more printers. I feel I'm at a good position here with my operations that I can do more capabilities without having to add more printers, but at least I need to start thinking about the best way to do my operations. So there's where I'm at right now. Again, there's many of you that already have thought of this and how to do this, but it's just, again, I've just gotten to that point where I'm starting to get more printers, and this is a thought that occurred to me. I mean, if you've been dealing with this for a while, please leave a comment below and tell me, how are you doing it and what recommendations do you have for others? If you found this video helpful at all, please like and subscribe, and please join me again next week. So until then, I'm Rick. Thanks for listening. Take care.